I made a mistake. This is why. In pen testing, we have timed engagements that expire. So I shouldn't say I made a mistake. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I went to log in to Bandit Level 16 to make this video. Closed by remote host. Of course it closed by remote host. So I logged in to make this video, and the password that I had for level 16 wasn't working. So then, I tried level 15. That didn't work. Level 14, that didn't work because we've been keeping our passwords in our notes.txt file. And of course, what I realized is that all the passwords to OverTheWire's Bandit War Games, the Capture the Flag, got reset. So I just went back using my own notes as a cheat sheet and had to start back at level 0 and get all the passwords to continue all the way back up to level 16 so that we can do level 16. So that's what we're going to do right now. Bandit 16. Boop, boop. Logging in with the password. Thank you for saying enjoy your stay. Okay, let's see what we're working with. All right, so this is level 16 to 17. I realize you can't see the entire page, but you can go here, overthewire.org/wargames/bandit/bandit17.html. So the credentials for the next level can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to a port on localhost in the range 31,000 to 32,000. What the rest of it says is first find out which of these ports have a server listening on them. Then find out which of those speak SSL/TLS and which don't. There is only one server that will give the next credentials. The others will simply send back to you whatever you send to it. And then there's a helpful note, which I think that helpful note was in the last level as well. So this is really simple. I'm just going to run an nmap command. Nmap is fantastic. We have talked about nmap before. I have a video on using ZenMap, which is like the Windows version of nmap. But nmap, it's just network mapper. It's a great security tool. So we're going to do nmap on localhost, and we're going to run it on specifically ports. That's what -p is for. Let's see, 31,000 to 32,000. So ports, you can do 31, 1, 2, 3, 2, 32, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to check it for the service version. And this is because, so basically I'm going to scan these ports, and the service version and nmap scanner are going to scan the actual version of the ports that are open to let us know which one runs TLS and which one doesn't. Okay. So we're just going to let that run. You get to sit here, sip your coffee, sip your drink, whatever you want to drink. Let's see what we get back. Man, I hope this video doesn't end up being too long. Still running. You're probably thinking, oh, Red, you can just pause the video, right? You can pause the video and then restart the recording after it's already done. Nope. I had to go through almost an hour of going back through all the different levels. You got to sit here with me. Look at that. I'm taking my trauma and I'm perpetrating it back on all of you. Just kidding. I'm kind of kidding. I'm half kidding. Well, this is taking a while. There, I actually ended up pausing the video. Are you happy? Okay, so I can tell you right now. So looking at these ports, so these are the ports in that range that are open. Echoes, we really don't care about because what the service we're looking for, like it said, is SSL or TLS. So there's two options here. There's the SSL right here and the SSL right here. Now, this one is an echo. So what that means is that if we feed it something, it's probably going to just echo it back to us. However, the SSL/unknown, that's the one I'm interested in. That's probably going to be our best bet. All right. So we're going to go with port 31790. Okay. So just going to 31790. All right. Now, based on our last video, our last level, whatever, we're going to use OpenSSL, S-Client, and Connect again to get the password. Okay. So let's do OpenSSL, S_client, whoops, connect, localhost, 31790. Now, if we feed it the password from level 16, this should work just like it did in the last level. I am copying level 16 from my notes, put it in. I'm sorry, what now? So that didn't work. I put it in. What is key update? Key update. All right, this is where Google comes in. So we're going to say OpenSSL, S_client, whoops, key update. Interactive connected command used to update the session's cryptographic encryption keys mid-connection. Oh, okay. We did establish TLS connection. All right. Press enter to open a new line. Type one of the following single. K sends a basic key update message to the server, refreshing your client to server encryption keys. Wait a minute. Oh, this is interesting. Typing an arbitrary string that happens to begin with K. Actually, yeah, the password does start with K. It's K, capital S0, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so typing an arbitrary string that happens to begin with K or capital K, whatever, during an interactive session will accidentally trigger a key update. If you are sending raw payload data and want to prevent this behavior, establish the connection using the no commands or quiet flags to disable interactive triggers. Okay, let's try that. Why not? Okay, so let's exit. Let's run that command again, but do dash quiet. Let's see if this works. Should I put it after? There we go. There we go. Okay. So the connect needed the target, and then I just put quiet after. Okay. All right. Well, let's try entering it now. Look at, oh, okay. So we got it correct, but now we have an SSH private key. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to exit this. And I'm going to make a new file that is, because this is for Bandit 17, you know what? I'm going to call it SSH key 17 dot private. But before I do that, I'm going to copy all of this. Copy. Private. Okay, let's make sure it's got everything. Okay. Hopefully this works. And if it doesn't, we just keep figuring it out. So now we have SSH key 17.private. There's our notes with all of our passwords. There's the SSH key dot private from one of the earlier things. Now remember, we need to do chmod 700 on SSH key 17.private in order for it to work. Okay. Now I'm using Kali Linux, so it's green, which tells me it's an executable and the permissions have changed. Every terminal's got a different way of showing things. I mean, the real way to be particular is to do a long listing. And right there, you can see SSH key 17.private has read, write, execute only for me, no one else. So that means I can probably log in with this. So what was the, here we go. So this was the login. Let's do -I SSH key 17.private. Let's see if this works. Boom. There we go. Okay. So we officially we got in, we did an nmap scan, we figured out the port, we tried connecting to the port like we did in the previous level. It gave us an issue when we tried inputting the code. We had to troubleshoot. Man, we researched it, figured out, oh, the password starts with a K, so that's why it's given us issues. And then we went back, used quiet, and were able to get in. Okay, so there probably is a password for Bandit 17 somewhere in the file system, but this is our SSH key that we can use to log in from Bandit 17 moving forward. I've spent the last hour and a half doing Over the Wire Bandit, so we're ending it here.